disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by the copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. This video was made for entertainment purposes and is transformative in nature. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let me see if my mic is good. Let's see if my mic is good. Okay, it is. What's up, y'all? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well. I got a few things I want to get into on Diddy. Yesterday we talked about how the defense we were talking about the defense strategy. They were they plan to contend a few things as far as the search warrants and stuff like that. They just going down the line here in their representation of Diddy, but the government has what we call clap back, and we're going to listen to that. The government for sure responded. I knew they were going to respond. That's just everything that you're seeing going on through this case is all like this was supposed to go down. It really is supposed to go down in each case. It happened in the last case we just watched. Attorneys go back and forth, stuff like that. Diddy's attorneys, you might think that they're reaching, but everything is done for a reason. They could be setting this up just in case if he blows trial, they'll have something to work with in the appellate side of things. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about Jaguar Wright some more because I keep getting messages on her. I think maybe I offended some people when I said which team is she playing for. I don't really I wasn't dissing her or anything like that. I'm pretty much kind of giving her props a little bit. People thought she was crazy. And no, this woman's not crazy, man. She's been in the industry for a very long time. But does that mean she's connected? It could be. We don't know. I just know one thing from doing this this vlogging style stuff. I would say about 85% of the people that has a huge audience, they're connected. Roughly about 85%. And then you have 5% that are not connected to anybody. They're just regular people. And then you got 10% that's controlling everything else. That's how it is in life anyway. If you ever known a 5%er or anybody that studies the teachings of Clarence 13th X, the 5% nation of gods and earths, they talk about that. They talk about that 85-10-5 breakdown. And that just applies to everything across the board. Everything is set up already. Like the internet, how it's running, it was already pre-planned before we had access to it. And they put people in place. They put people in place to sway thought. So, and it makes sense that they got agents in place. It makes sense because the government created this. That what we call the internet or the internet. Some of the creators of that are still alive. Actually, they're old men now, but some of them are still alive. And like the government had this working before it was even brought out to the masses. And with social media, They already had people in place already in the beginning of social media. When I say the beginning of social media, I'm not talking about the internet, like America Online. That may have been the beginning of it as well, but I'm talking about like MySpace, Black Planet, Mahente, and a few of them other ones. That was the beginning of it, and they already had people in place already that was connected. And also, some of these people get with what you call networks. Um, Hold on one second. Let me put on the Bush Patrol, because, like I said, I'm getting attacked. And I know people's like, well, why are you getting attacked? I don't know why. I think they're just practicing. But watch this. Hold on one second. Watch how I can turn the Bush Patrol into it's magic. Hold on. Hold on one second. I forgot to do it. Bush Patrol activated. You ever notice how like it be random comments come out of the bushes? That's just to throw me off. And it's just I don't know. Like I said, I think they just practicing, but hold on. Hold on one second. Bush Patrol activated. Bush Patrol activated. Now, OG Quincy, see if you can type something now. We'll wait for you. Bush Patrol activated. Um, it's not bots. They pay people to do that. It's not bots. It's like you ever heard of I don't want to talk about all this type of stuff because I'll sound crazy. But you ever heard of gang stalking? They try to make you feel like what you're trying to say is crazy. That's how you know I'm a real one. I'm not connected to anybody. You know what I'm saying? I can't really explain it. You have to go through it. No, it's not just dumbasses. Like yeah, it could be like there's a small percentage of people that don't have life, but this is a targeted situation. It is. It's a targeted situation. My last live got hit last night. It's a targeted situation. Um, yeah, it's a target. I don't have. Let me tell you, I don't have any gimmicks over here. It's just me. There's no gimmicks. I'm not connected to any networks or anything like that. It's just me on this microphone, just talking, just going live and kicking it with you. No gimmicks. I'm not connected. I just see stuff for what it is. And we're gonna get into the Puff situation. Diddy, no way out. Ordeal. Jaguar, Wright. Talk about her a little bit. Boycotting Walmart. Amazon won't work. It's not gonna work. It's I'm think it's I've read that they want to boycott for like a 24-hour period. 24 hours is not going to work. If you're going to boycott a brand, let me start there for a second. If you're going to boycott a brand, right, you have to do it indefinitely. Indefinitely. You have to boycott indefinitely, like a 24-hour window or a short period of time, boycotting Walmart, Target, Amazon. That's not going to work. These are billion-dollar companies. They could take a hit. They could take a 24, 48-hour hit, but they can't take a 5-year hit. Just don't shop with them no more whatsoever. Just be done with them indefinitely. And it has to be a certain amount of people to do it. And then, yes, the boycotting will be effective. In history, boycotting has been effective. The Montgomery bus boycotts was very effective. The Montgomery, and when I say boycott, I mean everybody. It don't matter what demographic you come from. Everybody has to boycott, and it has to be indefinitely, and then it'll change. So the Montgomery bus boycotts, right? Well, I've been boycotting television. I don't really watch television at all. Um, yeah, I don't watch. The only time I watch it is because I have another channel where I follow college football. That's the only time I watch TV is when I follow the game, so I could like report on it afterwards. That's it. Or if or a fight, like a boxing match, something like that. Um, so yeah, but the boycotting for just a short period of time, that's laughable. That's laughable. What people have to say is, well, we're going to boycott indefinitely. Now, like I said, I'm just going to touch on this a little bit. I was talking to somebody earlier about it. Um, and then I'm gonna get to Diddy. So it says recent boycotts against Walmart and Amazon have emerged primarily due to their decisions to scale back diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. In November 2024, Walmart announced it would cease considering race and gender in supplier contracts, halt racial equity training, and withdraw from human rights campaign workplace rankings. This move came after pressure from conservative activists and was part of a broader trend among corporations reducing DEI commitments. In response, grassroots organizations like the People's Union USA have organized protests. Now, let me stop right there. What you got to do first is the People's Union. You got to find out where exactly how that started and who is bankrolling that organization. So you got to start there. Okay, so have organized protests, including economic blackout. Hold up. Economic blackout day on February 28th, 2025, urging consumers to avoid major retailers such as Walmart and Amazon for 24 hours. The boycott aims to protest corporate rollbacks of DEI policies and to demonstrate consumer influence over corporate practices. Additionally, Amazon has faced criticism for reducing its DEI efforts, contributing to calls for boycotts. These Sorry about that. I'm back. Hold on. Sorry about that. Am I back? Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? Okay, I think so. Um, where did I leave off at? Oh, no audio. Hold on one second. Yeah. No, there's audio. There is audio. There's audio now. No, I exit out by accident. I do that from time to time. But the thing was my hand, when you got this magic mouse, this Apple mouse, if you swipe to the left, it swipes you out of the page. I hate that. So I'm sitting up here bumping my gums and I look up to my screensaver. Um so yeah, she was like, "Yeah, well, I can't shop at Walmart, I can't shop at Target or Amazon. Like I love to shop there." I said, "Well, if it's only for 24 hours, then I would just tell you don't boycott because it's not going to hurt them. They're not even going to do anything." And I said, "Well, why are you boycotting? Like, what's the reason?" She was like, "Because the rollback on the DEI program." I said, "Well, it didn't benefit you anyway. The DEI programs didn't benefit us. It didn't benefit us unless you. It didn't benefit us." She said it didn't. I said, "Hmm." I said, "We only represented like maybe out of the DEI programs, we was only a representative like maybe 8% or something like that. There was other people in other demographics that actually benefited from the DEI programs. You gotta do your research on that. So that's why they're laughing in your face. That's why they're laughing in your face, man." I say, because I said, "Well, have you ever been employed? Are you working?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "So how's it affecting you if you're working? Do you make good money?" She's like, "Yeah." I said, "So how's it affecting you? How's it affecting you?" And then she said, "Well, they also messing with people with welfare and stuff." I said, "We're only a small percentage of welfare recipients. Did you know that?" She said, "Well, what?" I said, "Yeah." So that's nothing to us. Nothing. I said, "It's nothing. Nothing." I said, "Research all the entitlement programs ever been out, and look at the pie chart on the demographics that actually use it. And you're going to see that the biggest pie chart is not us. It's just not. And the DEI programs really wasn't for us anyway. So why are you protesting?" And also look at all the people that work at Amazon. When I go in the Amazon parking lot, it smell like yo. When I go in, I don't know what's up with these young people. I think Amazon allow you to smoke weed at work. Am I wrong about that? Hey, Lashane, I gotta hit you up later on Lashane. Um, what do they allow people to smoke at work? That's my question to y'all. That whole parking lot smell like weed, yo. The whole parking lot. People come out of work high, like, and I see a lot of people and they look like me. So where did they? What's up here? Like, what? Where? Like, how is it? How are we being affected? They let you smoke weed at work. I never seen that before. He said, "Why do you want to work with anyone who doesn't respect you? Keep it moving." Right. But the thing is, Lashane, that ain't even about us. It's not. Because when I go up to the parking lot, man, I see a lot of young people um that look like me in that parking lot. I do. I see a whole bunch of other people too. Um Now you said no, they don't a lot. Well, in the parking lot, what do you call it? It smells like what do you call that? What do you call that date? The weed day. That's what it smelled like. Okay. The whole parking lot. I mean, people just getting blazed in the parking lot on their break. Yeah, it smelled like ganja. 420. It's 420 out in the parking lot. Now, the only thing that they do tell me is that the robots are taking over and people are getting laid off because of the robots. So that's a thing, right? That is a thing. People are losing their job to the robots. And that's going to be a reality even for rideshare drivers. Eventually, when you call a Uber, it ain't gonna be nobody in it. Ain't no steering wheel, so you ain't gonna be able to steal it because it ain't gonna be no steering wheel or no pedals in it. It's just a computer, and and the car takes you there. Now, what's interesting about this is, he's gonna make it affordable. So I plan to buy a couple and just have it work for me. Like I just plan to buy like maybe one to see how it go, and then just put it out there and go to work. It's a robo taxi. Just go to work. Ain't nobody gonna be able to steal it because it don't have no steering wheel. And the Teslas, they almost the Teslas that are this is what I was told because I went by there again today. I don't know when I'm gonna pull the trigger on it, but I keep going by there, right? Um, I forget for the Model 3s, the 2021s and higher, they already have the updated computer software to support that robo taxi. So when they decide to drop it, them cars will pretty much you'll be able to send that car. Look, I will be able to send my car to you to pick you up and bring you back to my house. I would just tell the car to go get you. That's eventually where it's headed. And it eventually you'll be able to use your car like that. You won't have to drive it. The computer just take you everywhere. You don't have a steering wheel. You have the option to drive, but eventually it's moving towards that. AI is taking over. So what's going to happen is I think eventually they're going to have to come up with some monetary fund to pay people to live. That's pretty much what's going to have to happen eventually. We're moving into that type of Jetson society, and eventually we're going to have those. I believe that we're going to really going to have those high speed rails that'll connect us to each coast within a matter of couple of hours. Like eventually that's going to happen, and they also have the those drones that were flying around. They were testing them because some of them are the size of cars. So it was actually people probably were in them, and they're testing them now. Japan has no, China has them already, to where the drone could fly you around. So we're trying to get there too. It's probably their technology, and they're just going to try to set it up and bring it here. That's probably what we were seeing. Um, so that's where it's headed. So you just got to know how to navigate through it. Like, okay, if he's allowing us to buy a robo taxi, I'm gonna buy one. And then if I could set it up to where it can go out and work for, I'll just do it like that. You said DEI also impact funding to HBCUs. Um, HBCUs, a lot of them are named after people that don't even look like you. That was the biggest joke ever. Wilberforce University was established for mulatto offspring for them to go to. The slave master kids, because he couldn't send them to traditional universities. So that's how they started the HBCUs. Wilberforce. That's how Wilberforce got started. So that's just a big laugh anyway. It is. And a lot of that funding was cut off in the last administration, actually. Um, but the administration prior to that, which was Trump, he actually saved some of them. But a lot of those universities, unfortunately, are in jeopardy right now. They've been in jeopardy, not just because of this. They've been in jeopardy. But did you go to a HBCU since you mentioned that? You said in self-disclosure you lost your job because my work was considered DEI. What kind of work you do? Yeah, he did Lashane his last term. People don't know that. You worked at Lincoln University. What exactly did you do to be considered DEI? You said Bill the Stoners in my high school played handball. That's hilarious. Yeah, what yeah, what exactly did you do? Like the job that was lost at Lincoln University? Was it like a DEI office? So anyway, this boy but my whole point was this boycotting situation is not gonna work. You said I went to Lincoln University and I was a public health advisor in the Office of Behavioral Health Equity for the feds. Behavioral health equity. Behavioral health equity. What does that mean? Like behavioral health equity for the feds. And who were you guys working for? Like with this behavioral health equity thing. I think you did, but I forgot simply Lee. You did maybe like a few live chats ago. You did. Um no, it was somebody else also said that their job is in jeopardy. I haven't seen her come back. I haven't seen her come back. Um when they said people have to go back in, as far as not working from home. Listen, guys, let me just say something real quick about that. I know I'm in the trenches, so I know that has affected a lot of people. You know what? The ride share gig economy, it has freaking over flooded. Do you hear me? It is over flooded. When I was sitting up at the airport, right? Because see, when I go up to the airport, it's either I'm dropping somebody off and I just wait up there because I like to chill out there because I can just relax and I like to watch the planes land and come in. Right. And then occasionally, if I get a good ride to get me up out of there, then I'm out of there. But if I don't get a good ride out of there, I'm not moving that car, like unless I'm ready to go home. But look, let me tell you all this real quick. So I'm up there today because I had came from it was like maybe 40-minute drive from the airport. So I stopped. I said, you know what? I'm gonna go to the airport to see if some action up there because it looked like it was busy. So I'm parked up in the airport, right? So it's this little spot I sit at where you can actually see the planes land. It's cool as fuck to see the planes come in, and it's like they're close to you, and then you can see them like take off. So I like to sit there and like look at the happenings on Instagram or something like that. And it was a nice guys. It was 70 degrees today. You understand me? I looked like I got sun. It was 70 degrees. I was happy. So I'm outside and this guy pull up in a 5 Series BMW at the airport, right? So he get out, he look at me, he say, "Hey, what's up?" And I said, "What's up?" So I'm just sitting there chilling. So he come up to me, he said, "Hey man, let me ask you a question. How do you make money doing this?" And I was like, "What?" Like, I'm like, "You like what are you doing?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm doing Lyft and I'm doing everything. I'm doing Lyft, I'm doing Uber." I said, "You doing it in that?" I said, "In that 5 Series?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, I lost my job. I got to do this and do that." And then I just told him the spots to go to. And he was like, "Thank you, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it." He was like, "Yeah, man. So that's how you do it?" I said, "Yeah." You know, I said, you ain't gonna make no money at this airport though. I said, because this airport is small. Is first of all, this airport is not busy. First of all, okay. The only time I told him the only times where the airport is busy. The only times it's certain times when it's busy, and it's after 5 p.m. from 6:30 to 9:30. That's the only time you'll do something. And he said, well, why are you up here? I said, because I had dropped somebody off. And I said, it's a nice day. And this is my little spot over here because I get to see the planes come in. Right. But yeah, I was like a brand fresh new spanking 5 Series. And then another guy pulled up, brand new Tesla, the brand spanking new one. And I'm starting to see a lot of these people, man. You could tell that they weren't doing this before. You could tell. Because they're so overwhelmed, they're tired. It was like, dude, you drive all day. Nah, you gotta drive all day. You know? But it's over flooded. It's over the market is over flooded. Okay. You seen some, I know Bill, I remember you were telling me, man, I got some crazy stories, but so I got a crazy story last night. Some people got in my car, they stink, yo. And they stink so bad, like my face turned red because I was holding my breath. I thought I was about to pass out while I was driving. And like, how do you tell somebody they stink? Like the only way, the telltale signs, I roll the window down and it's cold as fuck outside. That's how you know you stink. Or I need to defog the windows or something like that. I'll say, hold on, let me defog these windows, guys, so they don't think we smoking and driving. Yo, I'm talking about it's no way for you. I could see if your breath is kind of hitting, you know what I'm saying? You might have had a long day, you didn't eat, and you got hunger breath. I could see that. But then on top of it, your ass is paying off. Your ass is paying off, man. Like your ass is paying off. Now I could see you don't worked in construction. You know, you got the outside elements. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you ain't wash your ass. Okay, since Moses parted the Red Sea. I mean, you smell like you want to be alone. Okay, you smell like you don't ever want a girlfriend ever again. I'm talking about like that. So I'm not nose blind. I have a big nose. If you notice, my nose is huge. I got a Babe Ruth nose. Like my nose is big, yo. And by me having such a big nose, I can smell. I'm like, I got dog senses. I can smell that good, yo. Because my nose is big. You see what I'm saying? I got a Nubian nose. Now, ain't that crazy? Like people used to get on me, oh, you half original, oh, this and that, your eyes was blue and shit, you're half original. But how do I got a fucking all neck nose then? Explain that. So be quiet. You know what I'm saying? You know how people say, "Oh, you know, you ain't no brother." Yes, I am. Well, I look at me. You know what I'm saying? I got a hound nose, so I can smell. It was just all in my nose, and you know you stink. Where when you get out the car, it's still in my nose. So I got to come home and wash the inside of my nose out, yo. It's crazy. But anyway, enough of that. But what I'm trying to tell y'all, guys, so when what's the name came and said she lost her job. Yo, it's happening to a lot of fucking people, yo. And guys, listen to me. If you need the hustle, just hit me up on what where are we hitting me up, mother bird? Discord. What's up, old boy? Here's the thing. I'm not in a large market. I'm not in a large market, but there's a secret to it. There's a secret to the hustle, even in a small market. But in a big market, Oh my God. Like you don't need to know no secrets. You just in the seat that the New York City market, they require you to do certain things in New York City to get approved. You got to take, did you know in order to do ride sharing in New York, you got to take a physical? They make you take a physical and you got to take a defensive driving course. Okay. You got to pass a defensive driving course and you got to get in a medallion. Okay. You got to get a medallion. And then once you get all that, then you can drive New York. But let me tell you something. The money is hitting in New York City. I'm just telling you all that. It's hitting up there. But it's just that you got to be in traffic all day. So that might weigh you down mentally if you're not used to being in traffic all day. Out here, I'm not in traffic, only in rush hour. After rush hour, there ain't no traffic. But there's still a secret to it. And let me tell y'all something. Do not do Uber Eats. Uber Eats is dead. Okay? Listen, I might go fucking viral because I record a bunch of shit. They sent me a crackhead deal. $8 for 20 miles. I gotta drive 20 miles to drop off somebody food for $8. That's what you call a crackhead deal. I didn't take it, but it's popular on YouTube right now where people are recording the crackhead deals. So I got a bunch of them recorded. Okay. And then there was another offer, right? Yo, this is diabolical. $3.50 for 10 miles. Okay. That means first of all, the person didn't tip. Okay. The person didn't tip. And it's basically you're working for free. You know why? Because that's not even $1 a mile. Okay. So now you're working for free. Because if you can't get $1 a mile, now let me just say this. If you delivering food, you better get more than $1 a mile. You better get $3 or $4 a mile. You understand? Or more. Don't even accept $1 a mile. That's not enough. $1 a mile is not enough. Okay. If you're delivering food, $1 a mile is not enough because now you're working for free. It's something called gas. Now most of us got gas cars. If some of you got electric cars, then you're in business, but you're still not going to take that order because you're working for free. Now you a doja. Okay. You said, oh, you said, yo, Bill got war stories. He said it took a half hour to find the apartment. He said, you got a complaint. And guess what, Bill? You ain't get a tip, did you? You ain't, I ain't trying to laugh, but we could share war stories all day. I do deliveries, oh boy. I do deliveries. Now hold on. Hold on. Amazon Flex be bugging. Amazon Flex be bugging, yo. I got in on with Amazon Flex, right? They tried to sit up here and give me a block because you got blocks, right? Until somebody put me on the hustle. I don't know if I could say it on here because it's kind of a hack. I don't know if I could say it, right? But it's 30 packages, right? 30 packages, and all I was gonna get is $52. That's it for 30 some packages. That's a crackhead deal. But what you do is there's a way you do it. You don't just pick any time slot. You don't just pick any time slot. You got to pick the early morning time slot. You know why? Because those are the time slots where people cancel for some reason. They cancel their block. So you're gonna get a bunch of cancellations. And what you do is you pick up that block. Not the whole block. You pick up a few packages from the block because they start breaking down the packages. And now you don't turn a block into $200. Okay. And it's only about 3-4 hours worth of work, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, depending on how you drive. So that's the hustle. And if you need me to explain it more, you got to come to Discord. I told the dude about that because he just got on with Flex. He was like, man, they giving me $30, $40 blocks. I said, no. You got to go in at this time. Or you got to go late at night. Like, which is in the morning. You got to go 4 o'clock in the morning. Or 5, or no later than 6 in the morning. He said, why? I said, that's when they be canceling. And you wait at the end of the line and see how people, because some people walk out of the line. This shit is crazy. I don't know why they do that. And now they breaking down the blocks. And guess what? You standing there all willy-nilly standing there. They looking at you. Hey, can you take this? Yep. Now you don't double the money. And you ain't got to drive that damn far. You don't. So yeah, the Amazon, the Uber Eats is dead. It's not even worth it for teenagers. Because my nephew trying to do it. He can't even do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. He was like, yo, he said, they trying to give me $8 and I got to go 20 miles. I said, you going to take that? He said, no. I said, all right, then. Now I know you got some common sense in you about you. I said, I already knew you did, but I knew you weren't going to take that crackhead deal. And here's another hustle. Now, I don't like doing this. My homegirl was laughing at me. She said, you don't like to shop for people, do you? I said, no. Because first of all, see, I'm not the type of person that can go in a grocery store and find everything. You understand what I'm saying to you? See, when I go to the grocery store, I know what I want to get. Now, if you want a certain type of peanut butter, I'm going to be stressed out now because I can't find it, even though it's right in front of my face. So I'm the type where if I have to shop for 20 items, I'm being there 2 hours. But yo, if you know, what do you call it? Not Sam's Club. What's the other one? Costco. If you know Costco in and out, I'm about to show you something. I'm about to show you how you can make $300 or $400 a day. But see, I don't know Costco in and out. Now I know people say, well, why don't you walk through Costco and learn, Max? I can't be in there. There's too many people in there. And I get frustrated. So if you know Costco in and out, does anybody here know Costco in and out? If you know Costco, if you know where everything is, you are in luck. Now watch the hustle. You don't just go there anytime. You got to go there when it first opens. It opens at 10 a.m. I don't know what it is about this 10 a.m. shit, but they open at 10 a.m. As soon as they open at 10 a.m., you got to have your Instacart app ready to go and have it on and waiting. Now you're going to get the big blocks. It's going to be like a $200 order come in for only a few items. Hurry up and click on it. So now you can go in there and make the quick $200, deliver and come and rinse and repeat. But see, I know you're like, well, how come you can't? Because I can't rinse and repeat. I don't know what shit is. And the store is overwhelming to me. You see what I'm saying? So one time a block can, or you can camp out at Target. It's Target, Costco, and Total Wine, because that's where you're gonna get the big orders from. But mainly Target and Costco. With Costco, at 10 a.m., you're gonna see something come up for like $185 for 5 items, or $200 for 20 items, $300 for 50 items. And all you got to do is do that a few times a day and you straight. Now, I know some people that they can shop with no problem. They do it all day long. I can't do that. I mess around and have high blood pressure and pass the fuck out because it's overwhelming to me. You see what I'm saying? What's up, Abbott? I'm telling them about the Costco drop hustle. I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. Like I took one, right? It was $150 for 20 items. How long you think it took me? That was the hardest money I ever made in my life because I couldn't find nothing. And people act like, and the people at the Costco where I live, everybody is grumpy in there. Everybody, she said, why don't you get a flatbed? Why did you get this? I'm like, I don't want to be dragging a flatbed, but I had to because the person ordered all this water. You know what I'm saying? Ordered 8 cases of water. So I had to put it in the on a flatbed. And how am I supposed to know that you got to face the water a certain way so they could scan all of it? I didn't know that at first. And then they wanted some other stuff. See, I knew what the water was. Like, okay, cool, water. I know where the vegetables are because it's all in one area. But then they wanted some other type, like some some special kind of fucking cookies. I didn't even know where they were at. So now I'm in the store 2 fucking hours, and it's hot as hell in the store, and I got my hoodie on, and I'm hot, and man, I just wanted to leave, yo. Yeah, and the clothes. Don't even ask for clothes items. Then I'm just gonna quit because I don't know where nothing is. But if you know Costco in and out, you can make 3, 4, $500 a day, easy. Because all you gotta do is go in there and shop, and then come right back and wait. And don't just take any order. You just wait for the big orders because you know where everything is. Yeah, you can't go in Costco and just come out and without spending $200. Right. So then this person ordered a bunch of all this, I don't know, vitamins and shit. And I'm like, damn, where the fuck I asked the lady, where the vitamins? They're over there. Like I'm supposed to know where they're at. I'm like, why? That's why I'm asking you. She said, don't you got a map? I said, a map. She said, yeah, it's a map on the app. It's a map. I said, yeah, I still can't find the shit, man. And then they wanted some grass fed something hamburgers, yo. And I know where that's at. That's in the frozen area, right? I still couldn't find it. And then the app said it was available. I said, man, where's the grass fed fucking hamburgers, man? She said they in that aisle. I said, I can't find them. And then she took me over there and she found them, yo. So I can't look. If I do it I'll be in there all fucking day. So how am I gonna make some money? And so, my homegirl told me what you need to do. You need to get a membership and just walk in there and note where everything is. I said no, but they move shit. They move it. See, I didn't know that, Abby. You said the health and the beauty is always in the front of the. I don't. Yeah, near the and it's always places where it don't make sense. Yeah, near the diaper. See, I didn't know that. But yeah, man, I know this lady, yo. She make about 500 a day. I know her because I see her do it. And she was the one. Thank God she was in there. Thank God she was in there when I was in there because she helped me find everything. I felt like I had to pay her, yo. She didn't. She said, "No, I just know everything and just follow me." Because she had her cart and I had my cart, and she literally said, "What song you got? What? Okay, you need that? Go in that aisle. It's right there." And then they wanted some special fucking some zero sugar fucking Gatorade, yo. And I went to see where I was like, okay, the Gatorade. I still couldn't find it. It was all the way on the other side, the zero in its own area. So, and then after I delivered it, the lady was cool. She wasn't even home. I did all that right there, and the lady wasn't even home when I sit up there to deliver it. So I had to call her. I said, "Ma'am, and she lived in the fucking sticks, yo." And then when I finally got there, it seemed like I don't know what it seemed like. But then I called her. She lived. It's the house is nice though. It's a huge house. I said, "Man, where do you want me to deliver this stuff at?" She said, "Oh, anywhere on the porch is fine." She said, "Don't worry about the dogs." She said because the dog's going to be barking or whatever, right? Because she had a look. This lady had a huge ass door, right? see-through, yo. A glass in the middle of the door. I could see all in her house. The dog sitting there just looking at me. He ain't even bark. He's just looking at me, right? So I'm like, man, because he know I'm good people, right? He ain't bark. But then when I was leaving, he kind of like barked, but that was it. She wasn't even there after all that work. All I had to do was she wasn't even home. So then my homegirl, she was like, yo, come on back. Yo, they got more orders. Come on back. I said, I can't do it no more, yo. I'm exhausted. Because, now I've been on my feet for almost fucking 2 hours. Because I was in the store for 40 minutes before she got there. She said, dude, this is all you got in your cart? You taking too long. You don't know where nothing is. I don't know where nothing is, man. And nobody in here trying to help me, man. Nobody in here trying to help me, man. So that was hilarious, yo. My feet was hurting. You know what I'm saying? You know how you get fresh of your ankles, man. My ankles started hurt. I'm like, damn, man, this is crazy. But at least I got my steps in, though. You see what I'm saying? At least I got my steps in. Because now I felt good about myself because I had a workout. But I thought I was about to cry, yo. That's how bad it. But I wanted to make that money real quick. I said, dude, because when I looked at the list, I said, I can knock this out in 15, 20 minutes. And then I come back to the store, get another $150, $200 order. Boom, knock that out. Bam, bam, bam. So that's how my mind was working. Like I'm like, damn, I'm treating this like a full-fledged hustle. But I don't know what shit is. So that was, I mean, I'm being honest with you. I didn't know where nothing is. And I'm not going back in that store. But yo, she made money all day long, man. She said, that. And then they wanted some special fucking toilet tissue. Like the 500, the 40, 50 count. I don't know what the fuck that is. Like when I go get toilet tissue, I go get the angel salt. I know exactly what toilet tissue I want. They wanted this special something double rolled or something that I can't find. I'm like, I don't know where this is. She's, oh no, this on the other side. That's in a special side near the napkins. It's home to the second most millionaires in Texas. Now you ain't delivering no food. Not with no Uber Eats, man. Don't do it. Don't do it, man, because you're gonna sit there and laugh. You're gonna deny everything. Ain't nobody sitting up there gonna drive fucking 15 miles for $8. Like nobody's doing that. That's what you call crackhead deals. You know what I'm saying? I could see if I needed a hit real bad. You see what I'm saying? Like, let me just let me just go drive this 10 miles real quick. Nah, that's what that's for. And I heard they're suing DoorDash anyway, or somebody's suing somebody. Yeah, somebody's suing somebody. Oh, let me tell you what happened. I made a mistake and it was on DoorDash. I made a mistake and hit the order. And I was like, yo, this is for $5.25. I don't want this shit, right? But I've been canceling too much. I don't want them to kick me because I've been canceling, right? So I was like, let me just take it real quick. How hard can it be, right? It's only 2 miles away. Like, how hard can it be? And then I'll just chill. I'll just go home. Yo, I couldn't find her fucking house, yo. It was dark as fuck, and I wasn't walking back there. So I called her. I was like, I can't. She said, it's the first building when you get in the, and she had nerve to be a bitch about it. She bitching to me about it. She's like, I've been waiting for my food for about a half hour. I said, no, I just got the order, ma'am, but I can't find your house. I said it right there, clear as day. It's the first building on the right. It's in the back. I said, okay, you in the back? She said, yeah. I said, but there ain't no lights back there. She was like, she started sighing. You know what I wanted to do? I said, all right, ma'am, never mind. Say less. And then hang up. and just take her food home, yo. That's what I was gonna do. But I ain't want it. I ain't want what she ordered. I was just gonna tell the app that I couldn't find her spot, yo. Since she was acting like that. But then when I finally handed it to her, she kind of like um she I don't know, I think she kind of like um I felt assaulted or some shit. I think she kind of assaulted me a little bit, yo. Like you know how you hand the person your the food? She grabbed my arm. Like she grabbed my arm and the bag and like rubbed my elbow and shit. She assaulted me, yo. I got assaulted. I got assaulted. She said, "You have a good night." She said, "You have a good night." And then when I'm walking off, she looking at me as she closing the door. I said, "This some weird shit here." I said, "This some weird shit." I said, "Let me get back." I said, "Let me get back." I said, "Because she got a pickup truck." I said, "Maybe that's her old man truck. Or maybe that's her pickup truck. I don't know." I said, "Let me get my ass back in here, yo, because I wasn't even supposed to be over here." So they had some Jordans come out, right? So they had another offer on what do you call it? Uber Eats. If you take a certain amount of trips, you get like a certain amount of money. Where I said, okay, so that'll be half the Jordan right there. And then the rest of it, I should make it the Jordan money. So by Saturday, when I wake up at 10 a.m., I can get the drop on Nike. You know what I'm saying? So I had the money. So that's why I did it. But they offered, it was this one trip, it was $10 and I had to drive 30 miles. That's a crackhead deal. 30 miles for $10. That means a person not tipping. Yo, people out here, guys, listen to me real quick. So the spirit is telling me right now that somebody is listening right now. You don't tip. The spirit is telling me that right now. Somebody right now need to hear this. You don't tip. And my answer is why? Why are you going to have somebody deliver your food and you know how you know? Just leave it at the door because you ain't going to tip. Just leave it at the door, right? You have them drive all the way there and you ain't even going to give them. And here's another thing. You tip $1. As a matter of fact, I'd rather if you not tip at all. $1? The fuck? Now I know what you guys are saying. Oh, Max, you sitting up here, you carrying people. Yeah. The fuck? Go get it yourself, yo. No, I'm not even trying to be funny, see, Wisconsin. I'm being dead serious. You should see my face right now. I'm being dead serious. That's diabolical, yo. Okay? You're gonna have somebody go get you an ice cream cone, and that's it. Go get your own ice cream cone. But anyway, my whole point was this: my whole point by bringing all this up. There's a lot of people in the gig economy now. I'm talking about it's over flooded. Some of the drivers at the airport was talking about it. They said, "Yo, you see how many drivers was out Saturday night?" I said, "Yeah, bro." He said, "Did you see that Lexus? A brand new Lexus was out driving for Uber, dog." I said, "No, I didn't see it." Then somebody said somebody was driving a Range Rover, picking people. I said, "Get the fuck out of here." He said, "A new Range Rover, dog." I said, "Get out of here." I said, "They need to be handing cards out to be private drivers. If you got a fancy car, you might as well get cards made." That's what I did. I got cards made. You know what I'm saying? Bruh, I got I got a story for y'all. I got a story and I got it on tape too, but I'm not gonna show it because I don't want to put people out there because um this person got in my car, yo. I couldn't tell. You know how you can't tell? I can't tell. I'm like, that's a female? Like I couldn't tell, yo. I kept looking, you know how I kept looking through the river. I couldn't tell, yo. I could not tell. But this person had makeup on. I'm talking about the makeup was done perfectly. Nobody walks around like that. Nobody walks around like that. Nobody walks around like that. I don't know. Abstract. I don't know. I don't know. But nobody walks around with that perfect of makeup on. I'm talking about everything was perfect. You know how the women say my face is beat. You know how they say what they mean is their face is beat, meaning that they put all the makeup on, and it's so tight that they say their face is beat. My face is beat, right? That means that the makeup is hitting. This person's face was beat, yo. I'm talking about it was perfect. So I don't know. I don't know. She was like, "I'm sorry, my what did she say? She said, "I'm sorry, my what did she say? What did she have in her hand? Chipotle." She said, "I'm sorry, my Chipotle is smelling his car." I said, "It's better than that funk I smelled last night." And she just bust out, started laughing. She said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I wasn't trying to be funny." I said, "These people got in my car. They funked my shit up. I had to go to the car wash this morning. They funked it up. I'm talking about funked it up." She said, "What, Brep?" I said the ass was paying off, man. Okay. You said, "Oh, trans women makeup is flawless." Yeah, this was flawless. This makeup was flawless. That's why I said that might have been trans, because the makeup was flawless, man. It was flawless. It was beat, yo. The makeup was beat. But I'm gonna tell you something. I could not fucking tell. I said that. I said I don't know. I don't know. But I'm not. I'm just driving somebody. I'm not trying to get nobody business. So I was like, I mean, the makeup. It was almost like just came from a cover shoot or something. But there ain't no regular woman walking around like that, unless you go into like a wedding or uh uh something like an event or something. So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm old school. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to be a vibe. That's it. That's what this young person told me. You just a vibe. Oh, did I tell you I met I got it on tape too. Yo, where am I supposed to put this stuff at for y'all to see it without getting in trouble? Let me see. What site, what page I could put this on, because y'all ain't gonna believe me, yo, unless I put the request. Like, I got a dash cam. I have a page called let me see. Let me see what page I could put this on. I have a page called Rideshare Trapper. I might have to put it on there. I might have to put it on there, man. I might have, because y'all ain't gonna believe the stories unless you see it. So I met this girl. She was what do you call it? She was in the what do you call them people from the Quakers from Pennsylvania? Not Quakers, but not Mennonites. What do you call them? They not Mennonites. They what do you call the people, Mother Bird? Amish. Thank you, Abbott. And y'all see I'm struggling, man. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. Y'all see I'm struggling tonight. She was Amish, but she left. She left. And she was surprised that I knew something about it. I said, "Well, I'm from Jersey." Because it was three girls in the back and one in the front. And this was last Saturday. So they were leaving the club, and they were going back to the house. I don't know, college students. So she was saying how that she used to be Amish, but she left, and they was like, "Really, girl? We didn't know that." because they had just met her. They're in the same program, but they all decided to go out after, I don't know, they had an exam or something. They all want to go hang out. So she was saying, because it took about 15 minutes to get to their spot. So she was like, yeah, I was Amish and I got out. And I was just kind of ear hustling, right? They were talking to me, but I was kind of ear hustling on that one. And then I hit her with some knowledge. She didn't even know I knew this. And she was like, oh my God, yeah, Rumspringa. I'm about to bring it up. See, Wisconsin. I said, oh, so you left during Rumspringa. And I pronounced it correct. She was like, how did you know about that? I said, yeah, I know a little something about it. You know, I'm from New Jersey and all that. And she said, really? She said, yeah, I left. And she was like, she said they wanted me to do this crazy ass job. I said, oh, the something with the cheese. She was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. And I could not fucking help myself. And I feel bad, yo. I feel bad. This woman was fine. I'm talking about fine, yo. Fine as fuck. I said, here's my card. I'm sitting up here feeling like Bill Belichick, yo. I'm feeling like Bill Belichick. yo, something is wrong with me, dog. I said, here's my card. I said, if you ever need rides or anything like that, here's my card. Yo, I felt, she was like, she said, and I was talking about going to New York. She said, I always want to go to New York. I said, really? You never been to New York? I'm sitting up here feeling like Bill Belichick, dog. I'm sitting up here feeling like Bill Belichick with my old ass. I need to stop, yo. I told my mother that my mother cracked up so bad that she started crying. You know how people laugh so hard? I said, damn, Mom, what's funny, yo? Is that funny? She said, Bill Belichick, because I told her Bill Belichick girlfriend is like 24 or some shit. And he like 72. So, and I told her, say, yeah, I would just say different things. And then the girl in the passenger seat, they didn't know that she was married. And well, the girl in the passenger seat was married. She said, yeah, my husband. The girl was like, girl, you got a husband? She said, yeah, I'm married. She said, what the fuck? But yeah, they were in the same program at the, college or whatnot. But yeah, I felt like Bill Belichick, man. Yeah, it's a thick one, abstract. I felt like Bill Belichick, man. But guys, I'm gonna say something real quick. Diddy, man. Yo, I'm gonna get to that in a sec because the government clapped back, man. It's gonna come down to really okay, so how can I say this? Now they're saying it could possibly be a fourth victim. And remember yesterday we were trying to figure out who that fourth victim is. And remember the guy from Law and Crime said it may be the girl that allegedly he dangled over the balcony. That might be it. It might be her, but we don't know yet. And one could possibly be Lil Rod, another one. So so his lawyers were contending the search warrant, saying that it contains a lot of personal information that he doesn't want to get out to the public. And which means that they got a lot of the greater part of their discovery already and going through the tapes and stuff like that. And they don't want certain things. Yeah, Mother Bird, right. And they don't want certain things getting out to the public, which I understand. So that's why they're doing like certain things they want suppressed. So there's going to be a series of hearings before this trial start, but they're still pushing for a May 5th trial date, though. I honestly don't think that's going to happen. It is like a daily soap opera. Now, let me just say before I keep going with Diddy, the only thing I want to say about Jaguar Wright is people had her wrong. Because I remember how she was on Star and her and Star started having a arguing match and stuff. Nah, yo, she's for real. She's been in the industry a long time. And she finally got some connections now. That's all I can say. I think she connected now, for sure. And I didn't even know that she wrote for Al Green. Did you know that? Big homie CC said she worked for Al Green. I mean, she wrote for Al Green, but she didn't get the credit. So she's been around a very long time. Yeah, Avid Trader. I'm trying to say I don't think it'll make it to trial, but we'll see. Yeah, she didn't get the credit for it, Mother Bird. So she's been around, and also I believe she's from Jersey. Yeah, she part of the protected class now. As of now, she has graduated. She has graduated. And so she's gonna be fine. That's what I wanted to say about her. Because I think people kind of when I said what team she on, I think people kind of got offended by it, but I wasn't meant it to be like a knock on her. Oh no, she from Philly, okay. Yeah, I didn't mean for it to be a knock on Jag at all. You know what I mean? Um, Even when she was having her little thing, when she was following Nature Boy and them, I didn't judge her too hard because I don't know, man. I think she's just solid. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think she has witnessed some stuff that she's witnessed some stuff. She's been in the industry a very long time. So when you're in the industry that time, you see things. So that's what I'm gonna say about her. But Diddy, man, let's get into this because the feds don't set up there and responded. You remember Nature Boy, right? Marco, you remember him. You know, Rolling Stone. Was it Rolling Stone? They just did an article on him. Did you know about that? Yeah, they did a whole situation on him.
Holmes wants to know who the alleged victims are in his criminal case and the witnesses who may be testifying against him in May, but the prosecutors have doubled down and are saying not so fast. We're going to break down one of the latest responses from the government that focuses upon a major issue in this case. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. All right, we have a follow-up to a very important issue that is happening in the Sean Combs criminal trial, his prosecution. And this is Combs' request that the government disclose the names of the alleged victims and anonymous witnesses in this case. And now we have the government's response that we're going to get into. But before we even get into that, before I even address that, I have to lay all of this out a little bit so we make sense of what's happening. So first of all, we are rapidly approaching Combs' trial on federal charges of sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. May 5th, 2025, out in the Southern District of New York. Before you know it, it is going to be here. And the government essentially alleges that Combs, for years, abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, including participating in elaborate sexual performances, sometimes with commercial sex workers, and also to protect his reputation and conceal his identity. And that he would use the resources and employees of his business empire to create a criminal enterprise that engaged in all sorts of illicit activity. Now, for anybody who's been following this case, including right here on Sidebar, you know that a lot of this case has been shrouded in secrecy. We do not know the names of any of these witnesses, any of the names of these alleged victims. We have ideas about who these people might be, but we don't know for sure. We don't know specifics. We also don't know the specifics regarding certain alleged incidents, dates.
At this point, he does have a right to know to face his accuser. So I don't know when this is going to happen. Like I think they're holding because he wants to know who the witnesses are, so they can prepare their defense. And he wants to know who the victims are. Now we know who one is. Like it's implied that it's Cassie, but they haven't named her though, and they haven't named the other three. So I mean, I think they doing it to hide people identities, the people that's testifying. So yeah, it's not a open and shut. It's not an open and shut case with the government, Marco. It's not. But we'll see. Yeah, but see, the thing is, the reason why they doing it, I guess, for their protection. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to give out the witnesses yet, but he has to face. He got to prepare for defense, though. What about that? Don't he have to prepare for defense? So how is he going to adequately prepare for a defense and he don't know who the witnesses and victims are? Yeah, they also talk about the search warrants. If they're successful in fighting that, this case might be over. Yeah, named on the day of that their the testimony, Bill. I don't think that's right. I think he needs to prepare. How you going to prepare for a defense that day and you don't know who testifying? Now you got to be able to prepare. That's what I think. And you have a right to face your accuser. Yeah, I think this could be he could get off on technicality on this. His lawyers are fighting that hard to where if he blow trial, he can just win on appeal. If he blow trial. Yeah, you can't tell me, okay, well, you got to wait to the day of, and then you know what they say, you should know who they are already because you're the one running the criminal enterprise, so you should know who these people are. No, 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 no. It don't work that way. See, I had told you before, I want him to have a fair trial because he's entitled to it. You know what I'm saying? So not the day of. Okay, so that person says, okay, this we gonna do. This how that he don't have. He's not gonna be able to prepare. Who the hell is who's the alleged victims? We know who one is, but who the other ones? They don't have to tell us because for us the names are gonna be redacted. But I do plan to go to court his next court date. Just to let y'all know, I'll be there. His next court date. When he get arraigned on the superseding indictment, I'll be there. And I'll go live afterwards to let you know what I saw in the courtroom. So I'll be in New York. I'll be there for the next court date to see what happens. But he has to know who these people are to prepare. You know what I'm saying? So that I don't agree with. So
times, locations. This is not surprising. This is common kind of federal cases, particularly federal sex crimes cases, but we don't have a lot of information. And we don't even really know the full extent of what all the digital evidence is, right, in this case. And it seems, based on the defense's recent arguments, they have questions they need answered too. Again, I'm laying out everything to give you the context before we dig into this latest letter or one of these latest letters from the government. So back in October, Combs' attorneys, they filed a letter requesting the court, pursuant to the federal rules of criminal procedure, to direct the prosecution to identify the alleged victims in this case. They argued they have to know who these people are in order to properly prepare for trial. And what they asked for specifically was a bill of particulars. Now, we've talked about this on previous episodes of Sidebar before, but basically, a bill of particulars is a written statement outlining more details about a charge or charges that a defendant is facing. We see this come up a lot in terms of a criminal defendant's rights under the Sixth Amendment, namely to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation. Hey, everybody, we have another lawn crime legal alert. The Los Angeles wildfires, they are still making an impact. It is estimated that these wildfires caused more than $250 billion worth of damage. The loss of life is just immeasurable, but there are reports that insurance companies canceled thousands of homeowners' fire policies in the months before the wildfires. Were those cancellations even legal? Will insurance companies be able to help people recover all that they lost? Well, I'll tell you what. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, they're here to help. They were there for the Northern California wildfires. They were there in Maui, and now they're here for you and the families affected.
All right, just speaking of that real quick, I think that could be some type of class action lawsuit. Just to let you know, more than likely could be one coming. I worked on a class action lawsuit back in the 90s. Before Prudential took the company public. They had to settle all these claims, and we worked on that. That was a 2.5-year project. At least for me, it was. Because what happened was, back in the day, when the insurance company used to come to your house to sell you policies, well, they lied to the people about the variable appreciable life policies. Oh, the dividend scale won't drop. It'll never drop. And guess what happened? It crashed and everybody lost their money. So they were putting money in death policies like it was a damn bank, which you could do that for the Val policy, right? Then they were borrowing against him when they needed. So maybe with the wildfire, I think it might be a class action lawsuit coming because they see the thing is those people, they're not trying to sell their land. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Might get spooky. Let's get back to Diddy.
Of different alleged criminal activity and underlying acts. So there is perhaps a need to particularize that charge more so than in other cases. You need specificity about what is being charged, what is being alleged, again, in order to properly defend myself, right? If I'm a criminal defendant. And in their October letter, Combs' defense laid out several reasons for why they say they need particularity, why they need a bill of particulars. First, they write, without clarity from the government, Mr. Combs has no way of knowing which allegations the government is relying on for purposes of the indictment. And they really emphasize that since Combs is facing accusations of sexual misconduct and wrongdoing in a number of civil lawsuits, so separate from the criminal case, civil lawsuits, many people have come out and sued him, and by the way, many of which we've covered here on Sidebar. They argue that the government is basically forcing Sean Combs and his attorneys to play a guessing game about which allegations he's actually going to be forced to defend in the criminal case. We don't know. Second, his defense team argued, quote, given the anticipated amount of discovery and the expected time required for its production, Mr. Combs will be unable to adduce the identities of the purported victims from the discovery without the assistance of the government. Mr. Combs also anticipates that the discovery will contain voluminous evidence of consensual sexual activity, making it all the more difficult for Mr. Combs to ascertain which of his prior sexual partners now claim years later that they felt coerced. Even if it were possible to ascertain the victim's identity from the discovery, and especially given the volume of anticipated discovery, it's unfair to require Mr. Combs to spend significant time trying to unearth the alleged victims' identities. Again, goes back to the larger narrative. How on earth Do we know exactly what the prosecution is arguing, what evidence they're going to introduce, which claims they're going to be focusing on, which alleged victims they're going to be focusing on? How is Sean Combs going to be properly able to defend himself if he doesn't know the specifics of this, right? Third, Combs' defense team highlighted the concern that was raised about him getting a fair trial, given all the publicity regarding those civil lawsuits that I mentioned. But more specifically, they argue that the plaintiffs in those cases and their attorneys, they're not restricted in statements they can make to the press and in the media in connection with those lawsuits. But Sean Combs is restricted from doing so. He's restricted from how he can publicly respond, because if any of that alleged misconduct in the civil lawsuits is actually also a part of the criminal case, and Combs and his team talk about it to the press, they could be in violation of a criminal rule that specifically warns attorneys and defendants to not make statements or release information that could be prejudicial or interfere with a fair trial. So Combs is basically arguing, I can't even defend myself in these civil cases because I might mistakenly say something about these civil cases that might be also included in the criminal case. This isn't fair. So big picture here, Sean Combs is like, I need to know more about what the government is alleging here. Okay.
Something don't seem right here, guys. Yeah, he does need to know the particulars of what they're charging him with, because we don't know. Do you know? We went through the whole paperwork and I'm still confused. I'm still confused. So he can't defend himself in a civil trial because he's banned from it. Yeah, this is not, the judge gonna have to figure this one out, because he might have some action in the appeals. He can't talk about the case. He can't defend himself. They wired his mouth shut legally. He can't leave. They don't even know the whole particulars of what he's being charged with. So how are they going to defend him? And they don't know who testifying against him. The form of strategy. They don't know. They don't know who they don't know who the alleged victims are. And half of the people that's suing him in civil court, they Jane and John Doe's. Yeah, this ain't right, man. It don't seem right to me now. I don't think they have a airtight case against him. I don't. I think that they working on it. Well, if I was him, I would still be shooting for that May trial date. Yeah, he has no voice. You said this case, I think what they may do is offer him a deal, Avid, because that way both sides win. He don't get that much time and they win. Because he gonna do some time. Yeah, I don't see it going to trial either, man. I don't. Well, Avid, how much time you think he's looking at if he take a deal? If he cop a plea, cop out? How much time y'all think he looking at? I don't know. But he's probably going to be like, I didn't do nothing. Like 2 years? That's already time served then. But no, not really. He'll have another year to do. You said there is no deal for him at this point. So how? You talking about something else? Yeah, I don't think they have the evidence we think they do, y'all. I don't think so either, Marco. You know all this. You remember we were looking for. Damn, yo, I don't know what I was looking for in that superseding indictment. I said, dog, they confiscated the tapes, man. They confiscated the tapes, man. Okay. They got all the tapes. Man, they ain't got nothing, man. Oh, they got the tape she gave them. Okay. At best, he's looking at a hung jury. For sure. If it's going to stay like this. I'm not going to send the man away for the. I don't know. We have to see. We have to see. Because he is going to get time on maybe the guns, maybe. So he's looking at time on that. That's why I say a deal, avid chatter. And y'all, I say a deal. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, Sharice, the deface. Well, I say a deal. You said ain't no way the Fed is not gonna have something heavy. I guess. I guess. Marco, you said no one being forced to do anything on the tapes? I don't know what I was waiting for on that superseding indictment. We didn't get it. We didn't get it. And they said it's still an active investigation. Well, the trial is starting in May. May. We're almost in March now. Okay. We're almost in March. Where like what's going on, man? He needs to know. They say it's typical in these type of situations involving these crimes where the defendant don't know who's being don't have the victim's name or the people testifying. It's to protect their identities. But my question is, how is his defense going to be able to prepare, and they don't know who's testifying? You said, "Can we see a pic of the water bug up there?" What water bug? Right, Sharice, but they want to know more detail on what he's being charged with. Like what exactly did he do as far as with the drugs? I don't know, Marco. Um, if they don't want to expose nobody, just give the man a deal then. Y'all don't want to see we because we got his we talk about all right, look, I got another picture for y'all. Let me now I'm gonna go worse. Let me see what I can find for y'all. Hey, just to let you know, if you ever get a lawyer and his pants look like this, you're going to jail. I'm just letting you know. Or he could be a hell of a lawyer and don't let the exterior fool you. Okay. His plans pleaded like that, man. You in trouble. you in trouble, man. You in trouble. You in trouble. All right. Is that better? Who was complaining? Mother Bird. Is that better? So Marco, you said they don't have nothing on them. Let me see. Nah, nothing, Marco. Remember how we were saying, oh, we got these tapes, got JB, this. Nah, they ain't got nothing, man. He said, my dog doesn't like that picture. He's bark. All right, Mother Bird, let me see. He literally barking at this picture. Because he hear me talking. He's like, yeah, that's true. Like, "Ma, don't ever get me a," he be like, "Ma, don't ever get me a lawyer like that." Hold up, I got something for your dog. Where's your dog at? Hold on. I got something for your dog. Hold on. No, I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna. I played it too much. I'm not gonna do it. Damn, he's barking at the picture. That's crazy. You said Diddy is the Don. Okay, but here's my thing. Like, they say typically in these cases, it's not out of the ordinary for him not to know. But when exactly is he gonna know who's testifying? I think it could be the day of. I don't think that's right. You said not knowing who accusing you or something. I haven't heard anybody, Emerald. This is the first one for me. Let alone white. I'm talking anybody. I think he's gonna get off as it stands right now. He could get off by way of technicality. You got to know who your accusers are, fam, and you got to know who testifying against you. So when I heard Jesse Weber say, I'm like, nah, yo, something ain't right, man. And then they contesting the search warrants now.
Now, the government responded back in October, and we're going to get to that a little bit later because it is connected to how the government just responded only a few days ago. But before we get to that, I have to tell you that just last week, the defense submitted another letter, and now they're saying they want witnesses' names as well, writing, "The government has produced over 20 terabytes of information, and it is impossible to do a proper defense investigation as to the allegations in the Enterprise letter in less than 2 months without the names of the individuals, both alleged victims and potential witnesses who are listed in the Enterprise letter." Now, that Enterprise letter is very, very important. We were waiting for that. We were preparing to do a full sidebar episode on that Enterprise letter because an Enterprise letter is filed by the government in RICO cases that more specifically lays out the exact allegations in the racketeering criminal enterprise charge, what evidence the government seeks to introduce to prove that, the specific underlying acts or events that make up that racketeering conspiracy charge. So we were prepared to do it. Unfortunately, we never saw it. Why? Because it appears that the letter was filed under seal based on the court docket. In other words, we, the public, can't see it.
I told y'all that was gonna happen. Because remember, we were waiting for the Enterprise letter to see who the players are. But guess what? They filed it under seal. So nobody can read it. I don't even think Diddy team could read it. I mean, do they have a case on them or what, man? So yeah, so forget about it now, guys. I'm not ever gonna read a Enterprise letter ever since it's sealed. So we can forget about it. Remember, we were waiting on it. So we can just forget about it. So we can just forget about that. So enough to get our hopes up. So, like I said, whenever he goes to get arraigned for the superseding indictment one, I'll be there. Unless there's something in that indictment they don't want us to hear, then I can't be in there. But I'll be there though. If he gets out, he gonna sue. I would. You gonna sit? Yeah, he been sitting up in MDC how long now? Yeah, but Avid, here's the thing. You saying that there's no trial for Diddy and May, but you're also saying that he ain't getting no deal either. I know what you're saying, but Avid Chat, if that happens, that jail will get sued so bad that it'll close down if something happened to him in there. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I think the case is weak, man. Like I'm just that's how I feel now. Because I can't see how one man could get away with all this shit. I'm sorry. Like they gonna have to. I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah, it's supposed to be Cinco de Mayo, but I don't know, man. I'm just starting to feel that way. I know he got denied a $50 million bail. It was because of they said that he was trying to coerce, witness and witness tamper and stuff like that. And then the guns and stuff like that. And they say typically your bail, you're not going to get bail because of that. I mean, they got. I mean, a lot of us we thought, oh shit, Tony Busby mentioned Jay-Z. He got something. He ain't had shit. He ain't had nothing, man. The case is weak, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he low key helping Diddy. I wouldn't be surprised. I never forget what Eddie Griffin said, the comedian. He said, nobody leaves Hollywood clean. Nobody. But I do believe everybody's entitled to a fair trial. Okay. I know the hotel video was bad. I know it was. But at least give him a fair trial. Let him see who's testifying against him so they could prepare an adequate defense. Because see, what they're going to do is if they blow trial, they're going to complain that they weren't prepared. And then he'll win an appeal. Yeah, I think it might be a bluff, yo. I think because this is risky to take it to trial. It's very risky. But if there's doubt there, guess what? You must acquit. If there's doubt. No, if I was a juror, I want to see the evidence against him. And if I feel like I got doubt, I'm saying not guilty. Remember, I didn't say he was innocent. I said not guilty. I'm not going to put somebody away for 20 plus years and I think it was a money grab. No, I'm not doing that. They got to come with something. And quite frankly, I don't even think she wanted to get this far, to be honest with you. But he the one didn't want to settle with her and it went public. I kind of think it was, I don't want to get into what I really think because it's just my opinion. So I gotta be careful with my opinion because all it is an opinion. I don't want to look like I'm attacking anybody. And I do get it. They said in federal trials, in cases like this, the witness list is protected for a certain period of time. But I think he needs to know, to be able to put questions together for the cross examination. So what are they going to do after the government interview the witness, and then they like, well, give us an hour so we can write some questions up? I never forget what I think Johnny Cochran said it as well, and another person said it. A lawyer never pose a question he don't know the answer to. When you're on that witness stand and you asking questions, you already know the answer to it. There's no surprises when you go to trial, in other words. But I don't know, man. This is a case where if you into true crime, you into court cases, this is the case that everybody's following. Um, it has all the elements and everything for it to be a big case. One of the biggest in a long time. So the advocate's saying it ain't getting that far. You know too much.
It's for the prosecution and the defense to know. That is probably for privacy, safety, and integrity of the judicial proceedings reasons, right? This was probably to ensure that details about the alleged crimes and potential alleged victims and witnesses' identities, they are all not revealed before trial because that could potentially negatively affect the case in some way. But in their letter from last week, the defense wrote the court respectfully. We seek a ruling from the court on our motion for a bill of particulars related to the alleged victims' names and also to the anonymized witnesses in the enterprise letter. So, in other words, the defense, yes, they have more details about the racketeering charge and what the prosecution plans to do at trial, but they argue nonetheless, we still need to know who these alleged victims and witnesses are. So now comes the prosecution's response, and that's what we want to get into. So, in this letter that is dated February 21st, 2025, the government writes in response to the defendant's letter asking the court to rule on its motion for a bill of particulars originally filed on October 15th, 2024. The government continues to oppose the motion, which was originally styled as a request for a bill of particulars identifying victims and has now been apparently broadened to encompass not only victim names, but also the names of a large number of potential government witnesses. The defendant provides no persuasive basis for his request, which in any event will be fully satisfied when the government provides.
No, he does need to know who. Everybody has a right to know who their accuser is. Yeah, he has to know. He has to know. At some point he will know. But see, his lawyers want it now. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, they want to know. They want to know who the victims are. They want to know more details about what he's being charged with. Give us more details. Like what exactly? Like give us some more background on what he's being charged with. And then on top of it, um, yeah, who are the witnesses? Yeah, he the only defendant, Abbott. Remember, we were waiting on it. Remember, with the superseding indictment, we were waiting for it. Yeah, guys, this case is bogus, yo. I think it's bogus, man. No wonder I'm shadow banned. No wonder. This thing is bogus, man. Sorry. I don't know. Let me just not say. Let's just wait and see. But his lawyers are definitely on the offense, though. Definitely. Yeah, that video was bad. But so apparently they have like I said, other videos that she provided. I was looking for more. I guess they worried that, because he's, he got money, he got power. If he know the witness list, like strange things could happen. Like, I don't know. Oh, because of the threats. But I don't know, man. I think you should just know who you're cute. You should know. Yeah, Emerald. That's what I was saying. Big homie CC said something earlier. I was watching this interview. He said that he think that there's people up top, they know exactly what's going on. They go along to get along. When people come along and disrupt the status quo, that's when things happen. In this case with Diddy, though, I don't know if he disrupted the status quo, though, but I think it's something about like that lawsuit, though, that could have pissed somebody off. I don't know for sure. It's hard to prove discrimination, and I think he won that case. Isn't that crazy? Actually, Avid, you see, he's already been publicly convicted. If he walked free of this, um, it just depends on if people want to hang around him in Hollywood. But these young people don't care. Some of them do, some don't. But you remember that opening scene in that song? What was that song? Where he was running from, it was like he was running from people and then he got on the jet and took off. It seemed like he foreshadowed this somehow. Like he knew this was coming. Like he was gonna, like somebody gonna set it. I think it was a setup, to be honest with you. Yeah, victory. Yeah, with Busta Rhymes. You said, nah, I'll never be the same for him. Yeah, I feel what you're saying there, because I don't know. Bow Wow said that the parties ain't no motion going on right now since Diddy been gone. They ain't had no motion. Like the party's been weak. You know what I'm saying? So listen, when we played that video, when he warned people, like, look, y'all know the other party getting ready to start. My kids tucked away. Y'all get your kids out of here. You ain't see nobody leaving, did you? Because they knew it was getting ready to go down. Yeah, Emerald, he know. You said who would really party with him knowing the feds have it out for him? He said the feds have it, especially if he beat the feds have it. I don't know. Bow Wow said it ain't no motion. He threw the best parties. I mean, don't get me wrong. Jay throw a party. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know to be like Diddy. We'll see how it plays out. I just say that.
The information on the schedule already set by the court, and the request should accordingly be denied. They go on to write, For the reasons set forth in detail in the government's October 30th, 2024 opposition to the motion, premature identification of victims and witnesses carries significant risks in a case like this one, which involves numerous allegations of violence, coercion, obstruction of justice, and witness tampering. So, what did
So there it is right there. They don't want to give up the list right now because of fear of witness tampering. You think he was at the parties?
the government, the prosecution argue in their opposition back in October? What were the risks? First of all, as the prosecution wrote in October, quote, courts routinely reject requests for victim identities in cases involving crimes of violence and racketeering, especially when the government demonstrates a risk to witness safety, the potential for witness intimidation or subornation of perjury. And here, the prosecution argued there is, quote, serious, well supported allegations of prior attempts to obstruct and tamper with witnesses, basically on the part of Sean Combs. In fact, they cited the ruling from a prior judge who denied Sean Combs bail, writing, quote, having found by clear and convincing evidence at the conclusion of the second hearing the defendant is a danger regarding obstruction of justice and witness tampering and is a danger to the safety of others in the community more generally. And we all recall prosecutors have alleged that Combs tried to improperly contact witnesses while in federal lockup in the MDC, the Metropolitan Detention Center, where he's been since his arrest and indictment in September of last year. And as reported by outlets like NBC, there was also the allegation that Combs tried to influence the account of a potential witness in the civil case of Dawn Richard, a former musician in a Sean Combs created band that has since sued the rapper for sexual misconduct. So the government wrote in its October opposition, due to the defendant's history, the government has serious concerns about victim safety and the possibility of witness tampering if a list of victims' names were provided to the defendant. And that seems to be echoed once again by prosecutors in this most recent letter to the court. By the way, in this new letter from the prosecution, they also cite the infamous case of R. Kelly in support of their argument. Remember when R. Kelly was convicted in New York federal court of his own racketeering case for the sexual exploitation of children, forced labor, and transporting women and girls to engage in illegal sex acts? Well, the prosecutors in Sean Combs' case, they're telling this judge, Judge Arun Subramanian, who's overseeing Sean Combs' case, they say, look what happened in R. Kelly. In R. Kelly, the court rejected his request for a bill of particulars identifying the victims' identities because of his own history of obstructing, intimidation, and witness tampering. Essentially, they're saying the same thing is happening here. Okay, so now let's go back to this recent letter from the prosecutors, from the government, from February 21st, this letter to the court. And again, this is where the prosecution argues that the defense is not entitled to a bill of particulars identifying victims and identifying witnesses. So after citing how identifying these people carries a risk, the government then writes in its letter, quote, moreover, since filing the motion, the defendant has received substantial additional disclosures, including terabytes of Rule 16 discovery, which provide him with more than sufficient information to prepare for trial. Most relevant to the instant request on February 1st, 2025, the government provided the defendant with a 16-page enterprise letter outlining in detail the racketeering activity and related conduct that the government currently expects to prove at trial in connection with the charged racketeering conspiracy offense. The enterprise letter described these acts in detail, including their approximate dates and the people involved, noting, for example, their titles at the defendant's company or providing other identifying features. In short, these additional disclosures undermine any claim by the defendant that he is not aware of the nature of the charge pending against him or is unable to adequately prepare for trial. So that's the prosecution kind of responding to a Sixth Amendment violation argument that I mentioned before. Now, again, we've talked about the enterprise letter. I mentioned it before, but basically prosecutors are like, Sean Combs, you got enough information right now to properly prepare a defense at trial. There's also a footnote in this letter that reads, as previously communicated to the defendant, the government will supplement the enterprise letter in the event that additional incidents are identified or if the government obtains additional material information about the conduct described. So that's kind of in the spirit of an ongoing investigation, this racketeering case could enlarge him. But they continue, instead, the defendant's renewed request for a bill of particulars is merely an attempt to relitigate the pretrial schedule to get even earlier disclosure of victim and witness information. But his assertion, meaning Sean Combs' assertion, that such information would be useful is no basis to grant his request. Let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about that schedule. So the government argues that in the lead up to trial, they will furnish a witness list by April 14th, 2025, 3 weeks before trial, and that this was already set by the court, and that there's no need to provide more information about witnesses prematurely, not right now. And also, prosecutors say that those witnesses' prior statements will be disclosed to the defense by March 21st, 2025, so more than 6 weeks before trial. That was also set by the court. These witness statements, we call these 3500 material or Jenks Acts material. But in other words, the prosecution is saying there is no need for a bill of particulars defense because you will get all of this information before trial anyway, and you will have adequate time to prepare. And by the way, this was already echoed by prosecutors in their opposition from October, the one that I've been talking about, because that read in part, quote, but notwithstanding the defendant's procedural failure, the motion also fails in the merits because there is no need for a bill of particulars listing victims' names here. The defendant has been more than sufficiently apprised of the nature of the charges he faces based on the 14-page speaking indictment, the government's written submissions and factual proffers at 2 separate bail hearings, and discovery produced to date totaling over 25 terabytes of data, including detailed search warrant affidavits laying out details of the government's investigation and evidence. Courts have repeatedly rejected requests for bills of particulars where the defendant has received similar materials. Basically, you got enough. Now, going back to the current letter, again, the one that was filed just a few days ago, prosecutors in this letter, they argue that all the defense is trying to do is relitigate a pretrial schedule that has already been set by the court. And they cite case law in support of that. More specifically, they cite one case that apparently held that a bill of particulars should be granted where it is necessary for the preparation of the defense, but not merely useful. That's not enough. And prosecutors argue that while Sean Combs claims it's impossible to do a proper defense investigation as to the allegations in the Enterprise letter in less than 2 months without knowing the names of the individuals, meaning the victims and witnesses, the prosecution makes the point, quote, defense counsel does not explain why such a task is impossible, particularly when it has the detailed information set out in the Enterprise letter and in prior disclosures. Under the law, merely saying that a bill of particulars is necessary does not make it so. And they actually cite another very high-profile case from a New York federal court that took the news a few years back in support of their argument. They cite the case of Keith Raniere. We remember him, the founder and leader of Nexium, sentenced to 120 years in prison after being convicted in 2019 of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, attempted sex trafficking conspiracy, forced labor conspiracy, wire fraud conspiracy. And they cite the case of Keith Raniere because apparently Raniere didn't carry his burden to show that a bill of particulars was necessary, that his claim that the government provided mountains of documents with little guidance as to which ones were relevant to the case, that was not a legally sufficient reason to justify a bill of particulars. So in the end, the government ends the letter writing, accordingly, for the reasons listed above and those set out in the government's prior opposition brief, this court should deny the defendant's motion. Now, it seems based on the pretrial schedule and the Enterprise letter, there is a strong chance the court will deny Sean Combs' motion for a bill of particulars at this point. They may find it too risky, too unnecessary to reveal the names of witnesses and victims at this point. And again, the court does have to ensure that Combs can adequately appreciate the charges and can properly defend himself. So we shall see, but I will say one more thing. I am reminded of something that prosecutors mentioned in their October opposition too, because they wrote at the time, quote, when a defendant seeks victim identities through a bill of particulars, courts generally deny disclosure if the government sets forth specific reasons why such a request should be denied. And prosecutors here in Combs' case could argue, we certainly have done that. They also wrote in that filing, in particular, courts routinely reject requests for victims' identities in cases involving crimes of violence and racketeering, especially when the government demonstrates a risk to witness safety, the potential for witness intimidation, or subordination of perjury. We talked about those issues in this case. And they also wrote, quote, courts also routinely deny requests for bills of particulars containing victim names on the basis that these requests are in reality a backdoor attempt to obtain a list of the witnesses whom the government intends to call at trial. That's especially important because the witness list has been scheduled to be disclosed in the near future. So there is a strong chance the court will deny Sean Combs' request. But I will also add this. There's also another argument that was mentioned by the government in their October letter on this issue that was of note, may come up again. I just want to mention real quickly because they argued that granting a bill of particulars may negatively affect their case, may negatively affect the prosecution's case. How so? They argued they would be unnecessarily restricted in what they can present and prove at trial. The prosecutors wrote in their October opposition, quote, the defendant's request would also have the effect of improperly foreclosing the government from using proof it may develop as the trial approaches. Why? Because they explain that a bill of particulars confines the government's proof to the particulars that are furnished. In other words, the government's presentation of evidence at the trial is limited to what is laid out in a bill of particulars. And the argument is this can improperly restrict the government's ability to present its case and from using evidence as this investigation continues. The prosecution wrote, quote, the defendant is alleged to have participated in a multi-year conspiracy, and as the defendant is well aware, the government's investigation of that conspiracy is ongoing. Accordingly, it would be entirely inappropriate to force the government to commit over 6 months before trial to whom it will present as at trial as a victim. Now, this is again filed in October, so it's a bit of a different situation now. We're in February, but the prosecution's main argument is a bill of particulars could improperly restrict the government, and they say that's not right. That's not the purpose of a bill of particulars, and that's why courts have to use great care and caution before ordering a bill of particulars be produced. And they cite case law in support of that too. Like there was one case that apparently held, quote, the vehicle of a bill of particulars must not be misused to compel disclosure of how much the government can prove, nor to foreclose the government from using proof it may develop as the trial approaches. And prosecutors also warn that the government's bill of particulars creates the very real danger that a defendant will tailor testimony to explain away the government's case. So it's a really interesting argument. Again, this was from October. The case has progressed significantly since then. I mean, we now have a superseding indictment since that time. So you wonder, even if the government were required to disclose a bill of particulars, whether that would unnecessarily or improperly restrict their case at this point when we're so close to trial. Is it not already almost set in stone? But at the time of this recording, no word yet on this bill of particulars issue. We'll keep a very careful eye on it. But that is all we have for you right now here on Sidebar.
He wants to know, man. He wants to know the bill of particulars. He wants to know exactly what's going on. We're pretty much saying you have everything you have. You have everything you need for a trial. So at trial, there shouldn't be no surprises. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But that's where they're at right now, as of today. I mean, you can freely speak your opinion, Emerald, on how you feel about it. That's why we're here. Like we have like an open discussion. Like some people feel like he's being, taken for a ride, and some people, everybody got their own opinion on it. I mean, I'm for people getting a fair trial. Like I said, I understand what they're saying. Like he has a lot of power, and if he get that witness list, man, I mean that it's a lot of wheeling and dealing you could do with that witness list. But who's to say he's going to do that? I don't know. You know, so yeah, right before trial. I think 2 weeks or something like that prior to trial or something. Yeah, they gave him life without parole plus 10. Oh, here you go, see Wisconsin. Y'all don't like the picture, huh? Yeah, we gonna have to wait and see, guys, how this playing out. But what I'm saying is his lawyers are on their job. They're definitely on their job, man. Thank you, Mother Bird. I think I'm about to get off here, guys. Let me give you the Discord. We be on Discord. Let me just give you the Discord real quick if y'all want to come on there, because more conversation be on Discord, after the fact. Here, let me give you the Discord real quick. So, feel free to come over with the discussion on Discord. What's up, Oval Queen? So there's a Discord link. It's free to join. It don't cost anything. And then when I get off here, we can continue the discussion over there. That's how I usually come up with new video ideas, stuff like that. I see what people are talking about, and then I go from there. But yeah, y'all welcome to come over there. Here, let me put the Discord link. It's quite a few of us over there. Christy's not in here tonight, but she's usually over there. Yeah. Yeah, check us out over there. You can send links over there to videos, any, whatever discussion you got, you can have it over there. And drop the link again. You didn't see it. There's the link right there, Marco. So yeah, join us. And because we need both sides. So some people feel like, you feel like he's getting taken for a ride. So we need both sides of the conversation here. What else? So yeah, that's the link right there. Yeah, so check us out over there. Guys, I'm sorry to cut this short, but it's not too short. We've been on for about 2 hours, not too short. But I'm gonna get out of here. But I'll see you guys on Discord. If y'all over there, you'll see me over there for a little bit. Guys, thank you for joining. If anything else pop up on this case, it'll be tomorrow. So I'll come back tomorrow because they're going back and forth. His lawyers are standing firm, like, look, this is what it is. and we'll see what happens. But until next time, man, and to the next story, which will be tomorrow, because there's a lot of activity on this case. But I haven't. Somebody sent me a message. Haven't been watching the. I forget her name. She's accused of killing her boyfriend cop, or husband cop, or boyfriend cop. I haven't been watching it. I know it got started already. There's a twist in the whole Keefe D situation, but I'll get to it tomorrow. Yeah, I'll get to it tomorrow. But all right, y'all. Thank you for joining. If y'all over on Discord, catch me over there. And let me give you the link one more time, just in case if you missed it. You know, pretty much people you see in here, they'll be over at the Discord. And we also have a voice section if you want to get on your microphone and talk. We have another room for that over there as well. And then also, I think it's set up for you guys to talk amongst yourselves too, right, Bill? I don't have to be there. You guys could go into the voice chat. You might tell someone, "Hey, I need you to come into the voice room," and you could communicate that way. Because I know people communicate already doing that. So we have the voice chat over there as well. I gotta make some people some more administrators over there. So y'all remind me when I get over there, because I'll forget. Peaches, how you doing? I was just getting ready to get off, Peaches. You said, Max, you don't know about the voice chat. No, I know about the voice chat. I just got to come over there. I was in the voice chat before when Christy was over in there that night. I damn near fell asleep on everybody. So, yeah, you guys over there. Yeah, so I know Christy was saying she was talking to somebody on voice chat. I said, "Oh, really? That's what's up." So, yeah, we building a community over there. So, yeah, definitely if you got videos that you want to share, that you want me to look at or might want to cover, put them over there for us. Send us the link over there on Discord. Then somebody will get to it. And what else? I'm missing something. Let me give you the link one more time. And also, if you got something you want to share, a story, or you don't even have to talk YouTube, just life. You know what I'm saying? We have a whole group over there. So, yeah, just hit us up. Definitely over there. Guys, I will catch you on the next one. Be safe. And yeah, we'll do it again soon. All right, y'all.